Hello, I'm Cassie. Welcome to the University Writing Center's video on APA 7th edition formatting. If you would like to skip ahead or move backward to the topics covered in this video, use the table of contents located below the video. I'll be going over a lot of detailed information here, so feel free to pause and rewind as needed. I will show you how to use Microsoft Word to format your paper according to the guidelines in APA 7th edition. I will first cover a few basics of APA format, then the title pages, then the abstract and body pages, and finally the references page. There are a few aspects of formatting that affect every page and section of your paper. First, all pages should have 1-inch margins. Go to the Layout tab to select 1 inch on all sides. Next, APA recommends Times New Roman 12 point as the font and size, but there are a few others mentioned as acceptable in the APA manual. Be sure to consult that if you want to use a different font. Next, all text is double-spaced. Find the spacing options under Paragraph. And finally, each page includes a page number, starting with the title page as page 1. I'll show you how to add page numbers when we look at the title pages next. APA 7th edition provides 2 options for title pages, one for student papers and one for professional papers that will be submitted for publication. Also follow any directions your instructor or editors give you for formatting. I'll first show you how to create a student title page. You can skip ahead to the professional title page by clicking on the professional title page link in the table of contents. Start by going to the Insert tab and selecting Page Number. This will open the header for editing. Insert page number 1 in the top right corner of the header. Often the default font is not Times New Roman 12 point, so you may need to adjust the font too. Next, center the cursor on the page. Type your paper's title in the upper half of the title page, 3 to 4 lines below the page number. Title of paper is both bold and centered. Press Enter twice to create an extra blank double-spaced line between the title and your name. Press Enter again and write your department and institution. The next line is your course number and name, and finally the last line is the due date. The finished elements look like this. The finished title page should look similar to this. As a reminder, now that you have added the page numbers in the header, it will appear on every subsequent page. If you are using a student title page, you can use the table of contents to skip ahead to the abstract and body sections of this video. The title page for professional papers is designed for papers that are submitted for publication. However, some professors may also request that you format your paper in this style. Start by going to the Insert tab and selecting Page Number. Insert page number 1 in the top right corner of the header. Often the default font is not Times New Roman 12 point, so you may need to adjust the font too. While still in the header, type the title of your paper or a shortened version of it in all capital letters. Remember to adjust the font if needed. Add spaces until the title is aligned left and your page number is aligned right. This is called the running head and will now appear along with the page numbers on all pages of your paper. Next, select the page and press Enter to move down 3 to 4 lines. Type the title of your paper and format it, bold, and center it. Add 1 extra blank line space between the title and your name. Type your department and institution on the next line. And now you've formatted your professional title page. The next page after your title page will either be your abstract, if required, or your first body page. Both are formatted similarly, so I've grouped them together. Remember the formatting basics of 1-inch margins, Times New Roman 12-point font, double-spaced, page numbers, and a running head if you are using one. An abstract is a concise summary of your paper that, if required by your professor or a journal editor, stands alone on its own page between the title page and the first page of your paper. It should be labeled abstract, bold, and centered. Similarly, on the first body page, the title of your paper is bold and centered. The text of both an abstract and your first body page starts as a new paragraph on the next line. In order to organize one's paper and assist with transitions, writers often separate their text into sections with labels or headings for each section. Familiar section headings are methods, findings, and implications. APA provides specifications for formatting up to 5 levels of section headings. This sounds complicated, so let's look at a few examples, starting with the most basic way to use headings. Many papers only use and need level 1 headings. If your paper sections do not have subsections, you only need level 1 headings, which are formatted exactly like the title, centered and bold. Start each paragraph indented like you did for your first body paragraph. Do not include a section heading for introduction because your title is your de facto section heading. Next, I'll show you a second example that uses levels 1 through 3 to organize a method section of a paper. In this example, after an introductory paragraph, there is again level 1 heading for methods. However, the writer of this paper further broke down their methods section into multiple subsections. The next subsection within the methods section is research site, so it is a level 2 heading that is formatted flush left and bold. Next is another level 2 heading for participants. However, the participant section also necessitated its own subsection, so the writer used a level 3 heading for participant recruitment. Once the methods section is finished, a new level 1 heading is needed to indicate the end of the methods section and the beginning of the next, in this case, the findings. Now let's look at the guidelines for creating a references page. For help constructing your individual entries, watch our references video. References always start on a new page with the page number after the body of your paper. The references title should be placed at the top center of the page and in bold. If you are writing a paper to submit for publication or your professor requires it, remember your running head will already appear in the header. Sources should be ordered alphabetically by last name. The first line of a source is flush left, and the remaining lines of the entry are indented, which is called a hanging indent. Here's how to properly format a hanging indent. Here's a reference entry. Highlight the full entry, go to Paragraph Options, and select Hanging for a special indent. Continue adding each of your sources. Today we discussed 4 areas of formatting for APA-style papers. Formatting basics, which includes margins, font, and spacing. Title pages for both students and professionals. The abstract and body, which includes the heading levels. And the references page, which includes a hanging indent. If you have further questions, consult the APA Publication Manual 7th edition. In it, you will find additional examples and formatting requirements for paper components such as a table or a caption for an image. U of L students, faculty, and staff can visit us in person or virtually. Anyone can download our handouts on APA 7th edition or read our frequently asked questions about citation on our website. Finally, we encourage you to watch our videos on APA in-text citation and references. Thank you for listening.